By the time I was 24, what you just witnessed, true life story. That was my 4th time staring death in the face on 4 separate occasions. God called me to Texas, whooped the gun in my face, pulled the trigger, but the gun didn't fire. I began to entertain the questions of growth. Because I begin to face the fact of the reality of that if I go back to society selling drugs the same way I was selling before I got locked up, next time they would catch me and they would give me a life without parole sentence. So therefore, the first thing I did was I got away from my peers. And I started placing myself around older individuals who I considered had wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And one day I was with one of my mentors, and he asked me a question that shook me to the core of my being. He said, James, let's go back to day one. What caused you to sell drugs anyway? So, given my situation, young man, let me ask you a question. You was in my situation. And the situation just came out like this. You heard the story. Would you snitch about the secret, or would you settle for the sentence? No, you don't have to answer it. Just get you involved. But then I started fumbling with another sin. I'm looking around and I'm feeling the vibe, and I'm hearing God saying, talk about the 6 pits of identity crisis. Statistics in society says that 90% of young people don't know who they are, and they don't know where they're going. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, when I was 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, I was in pit number 1 of the identity crisis. I was in fabricated manhood. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all don't look at me like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I'm saying. Y'all know the people that get up in the morning on Facebook that say, I'm going to give all the glory, I'm going to give all the honor to Jesus Christ. And then later on somewhere, in the middle of the day, they start cussing somebody out. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all know the people on Twitter that be tweeting like they talk, like they gangsters and all this. Then you see them in school and in class, and they won't even open up their mouth. All fabricated manhood is on the outside, you want to look like you got it together. But on the inside, you know you weak. On the outside, you want to make people think you strong. But on the inside, you know you weak. On the outside, you want to look like you a bully. But on the inside, you know you a baby. Ask yourself the question, how many people in my circle right now walking in fabricated manhood, living a lie? They the counterfeit, and they want everybody else to think they're real. Listen, the only thing I can tell you is this right here. You're going to make your own decisions in the end. But I can guarantee you, doing the wrong thing, you're going to wish a many a days that you didn't do that. Because I promise you, because a lot of things you be doing, the worst thing you can do is commit a crime and not get caught. Reason why I say that, because when you commit the crime, it feels good to you off the top. But in the end, you finally realize it wasn't good for you. Did y'all catch what I said? My first time I saw my first piece of crack cocaine, it felt good to me. But when I was standing in front of Judge Sharon Blackburn looking at 30 years of life, I realized that it wasn't good for me. You got me? Man, everything I'm telling y'all, man, the only thing I'm saying is this right here. You got the power to create the life you want. Choose the right way. I'm begging you right now. This is the greatest part of my session. What I love about, after I finish presenting, I love Q&A. Anybody from the teenagers to the back of the room, ask a question. And please, let's keep it real, because we ain't finna play it here, because people's lives on the line.
James, what's the greatest thing that we can do as individuals to find God's purpose for us?
Man, I solely believe, me personally, I believe that before you can find the purpose that God has for you, you got to find God first. I think the first thing you got to do is get a relationship with Him. It's because, without a shadow of a doubt, your purpose is in the mind of the manufacturer. Only person knows the original intent of the product is the manufacturer. So you have to have a relationship with God first. And for me, when I got my relationship with God, He began to open up the door so I can have a relationship with myself. And He began to show me my gifts, my talents, and my abilities. And I got on the road to purpose.
To the kids and to anybody else, what drove you to understand that you need to go out there to get that vocabulary and
absolutely
and the knowledge from reading books?
I was reading Jim Rohn one day in prison, and he said in order for a person to be successful, they need three strong skill sets. You got me? I'm in a relationship with myself at this point, and I'm trying to figure out in prison what strong skill, what skill sets that I have. And because God has shown me that I had the gift of communication, because he showed me when I was on the other side doing the craziest stuff in the world, anytime I open up my mouth, everybody listening. And so I was a salesman. I could speak. You got me? And I knew, them was the only two I had right then at that point. But I've been out of prison 3 years, and since then, I've cultivated the ability to coach. And in regards to motivational speaking, this is what I do. You got me? And so I believe, because I believe that the first gift that once you find it, I believe God opens up a multiplicity of gifts that's going to go along with what you have. Here you go, man.
What did you do in the hard time that yourself knew what you was going to make it through?
Man, he asked me, what did I do in the hard times to let myself know that I was going to make it through? Man, I encouraged myself. It was days I had to preach to myself. I had to look myself in the mirror and say, man, listen here, I don't care who done left me. I don't care who done lied on me, who done forgot about me, man. I know I'm coming out here. I know I'm coming out to do something very, very positive to add value to the people that's going to be around me and to my community to give back. And so with plenty of days, I had to encourage myself. Yes, sir.
The one thing I like about what you were saying, I talked to a lot of youth at our church. One thing I'm positive about, I like what you're saying, is that a lot of guys come out of prison, they make our young guys think it's not as bad as it is.
Yeah.
They come and talk about, I got 3 cots in a million.
Yeah.
So, you know, I like where you interjected and let them know it's not like that on the inside.
No.
You know, it's terrible.
Without a shadow of a doubt, and most guys like that, let me go on and interject right fast. Most guys like that, they have already put it inside their mind, I can handle this. You got me? I knew I couldn't handle it. And I also knew this right here. I knew I wasn't finna come back out and I wasn't finna do nothing else to go back in. Right? At the same time, like I said, I took full responsibility of my actions. You got me? When I walked out of prison, I worked a job at a restaurant. And mind me now, I need y'all to be so open with me when I say what I'm going to say. I worked a job at a restaurant and I was getting a certain amount of money that I was living another life that I wasn't used to. And I say, God, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know about all this. And I worked and one particular night, I want to share this story right fast. One particular night, I had worked 9, 10 hours and I had been waiting tables. I come out of the door with $14. And it was a group of men, about 10 or 12 people. They did everything but spit on me and called me the N-word. You got me? And I walked outside and I said, God, I ain't signed up for this. I know how to give me some money now. I'm doing everything you told me to do. And I heard a still small voice on the inside of me say, don't you dare complain about something you're not willing to change. And I say, Lord, how in the world am I going to change something? Man, they won't give me a job. I'm a felony. I've been going through it. He said, yeah, check this out, man. If they won't give you one, you create one. And so I say, Lord, how am I going to create it? What I'm going to do? How am I going to create a job? He say, stop worrying about everything you don't have and focus on the one skill set you know you do got.
Hey, question. Every other week, somebody's dying in Birmingham. Black on black crime. Having to go to bury a co-worker yesterday, it goes to show that we are not an exception to the rule. We're sitting out into the forest to make a change, but nobody, in essence, is giving out the stereotype that nobody's safe anymore. So the police department, we're being questioned of what are we going to do? What are you doing to combat crime? What do you suggest? How can we reach out just to stop it? Because how I see it, it's just blatant disregard for human life.
Absolutely.
So what can we do? I mean, we got to get a grasp on it.
Yeah. And being honest, man, just being so real, you cannot stop nobody when somebody's mind is made up that they just don't do wrong. You got me? The seed of the problem is deeper than once it get to y'all. Just being honest, I don't know. I'm not finna try to put something together to make myself sound good. I do not know. Because I understand exactly what you're talking about. I lived in it for six straight years. And once my mind changed, I couldn't stand it. When God really started working on me, I started hating it, right? And I couldn't understand why they was marrying ignorance so much.
Just real quick, man, comment and a question. Just pertaining to what the question you asked, and I think this is very imperative. I think it's all about, it pertains to, from a law enforcement standpoint, it's all about being proactive instead of reactive. And right now, I think these type atmospheres that we're creating, that Chris has created here, is a part of us being able to combat the crime element we have in this society. And we need to get together collectively, the people, because it's evident we're dealing with the best and the brightest right here, because these people know that they don't know. So we pool up together and try to pool our resources together to try to figure out a solution. So I think it's all about being active, being proactive instead of reactive. I think way too much we wait till something happens before we try to prevent it. And then I just wanted you, man, to comment on the transition part, because I feel like the #1 problem, you know, I played in the NFL for 6 years, and I think what happens is with a lot of these young kids, and I heard you comment on this, is comment on the transition part of being able to know that you're more than just an athlete, just like you had to know you were more than just a drug dealer. Really comment on that, because when a lot of these kids transition from these sports, man, they lost out here in society because they are the most exploited, and people don't want to deal with that side of it. But what happens is there's no true means or no true understanding of transitioning. So if you will, while we got all these young cats in this room, really talk about transitioning, if you will, man.
I absolutely appreciate you. Thank you. Believe it or not, I've spoken in front of the Houston Texans and in front of the Kansas City Chiefs. Right, just spoke in Kansas City before they played the Indianapolis Colts playoff game, and they was talking, and because I have a story of redemption, and I have a nice way of motivating people to get them up for the book. My whole focus was exactly what you said. All right, I want you to win the game. I want you to be the best athlete on the field. But the thing I want you to do more than anything, I don't want you to be on 30 for 30. How about that? Man, listen here. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Man, I am not neglecting football or sports in no type of way. But it is something special and unique inside of every one of you. It's a gift. It's a talent. It's an ability that you can already be positioning yourself right now for the transition. Besides studying for football, find out what you really love to do. That's one thing. And find out one of the things that you hate. Because whatever you hate, you can have the courage to answer the call. You can have the courage to answer the problem, to answer the question, and to come against the problem. I hated ignorance. When I started waking up, I hated ignorance. So I started doing everything I could to get some information, to get some knowledge. And not only the information, I started learning how to apply the information that I was getting. Man, it's a bigger world out there. Athletics is great, man. Man, listen, I'm pushing people every single day to bring the best out of their athletic ability, man. Did a video for Floyd Mayweather. Flew out to Vegas, met him, dropped the video in his hand, whole 9 yards, right before he just fought. You got me? But the transition, I didn't get a chance to talk to him like I wanted to, but I wanted to tell him, man, Doc, you're going to have to rebrand yourself just a little bit. It's bigger than this. Because like Chris said, he's doing this because he's giving back. He's seeing a need. You got me? Man, football, 10 years, 12 years. Like he said, he did 6 in the league. The question becomes, what's next? I got 3 partners in the NFL right now that I'm challenging every one of them, man, what's next? You got me? Yeah, because people filling up the stands, and they getting paid billions and billions of dollars, and you get millions. But it's set up because you don't know how to transition, that in 6 years after, 10 years after the NFL, you won't have a dime. Then you'll be considered a has-been. Then you'll fall in the pit number 5, identity crisis, a mindset of excuses. You can start right now, y'all. Something else. It's something else that can take this thing to the next level. But it's all on you. It's all on you. I promise you, you can find out your giftings. You can find out what you love. You can find out something you hate. And you can figure out, man, how I'm going to try to change this.
Okay.
Well, I just think the event itself was very noteworthy due to the fact that it really touched on some off-the-field issues that athletes may be faced with. I mean, you know, everybody's out here working on an athlete from a physical standpoint, but in my opinion, there are not enough mental tools given to athletes to help them be able to basically transition into regular life and be able to be prosperous beyond athletics. And I think this is a great tool to be able to basically hone in on that skill set.
This session, we really focus on the importance of your personal brand. Every time a student came in there, we always ask them, when you think about personal branding, what do you think of? And a lot of times the students will say different things, but we always try to connect that to life. think about, major organizations and marketing, and we want them to think about themselves. You mentioned earlier about being your own CEO. You are your own CEO. You are your own brand. Everything you do is going to be reflected on the outside. Everything you do. So the way you dress, the way you speak, the way you talk, your grades, everything, all that. For example, your grades. When it comes to your grades, a lot of times those go to the colleges before you even get there. So they see that brand on paper of you. So, we just trying to share the importance of personal branding all the way around, from speech to grades to work ethic.
Great program. I think that this is the first step to the problem in society, and it's reaching out. Myself, and I'm going to be a partner with you and giving back and speaking with the Birmingham Police Department that we will be on board and ready for round 2.
First of all, I give the glory to God for having the opportunity to even get the call to come to the TAP Symposium. The one thing that I loved about the entire thing, if I don't love nothing else, I don't pay attention to anything else, is the unity. I can see that the vision of the organization or the company, so to speak, I can see that all the volunteers, the workers from you top to the bottom, y'all are in one. Y'all are unified. And I really do believe that anytime you get somebody, a company, a group of people that are speaking the same thing, thinking the same thing, and doing the same thing, that success is on the horizon.
I think that TAP is a unique organization. It's an organization that I think we need more of. I think that our society has a great need of people being able to take the time to be a mentor and to tell other people that they are valuable. We've gotten away from that. Seems to me that we've gotten thinking about more things than that, thinking about myself more. And we need people like you to stand up and say, hey, you need to think about somebody besides you. I think that's a refreshing thing. I mean, for me, people may look at me, I'm a dentist. Okay, well, I'm supposed to have everything or whatever. Well, I got to be responsible too. I've got a lot of people that are dependent upon me. That if I can't perform, they're not going to eat. We're not going to have paychecks. And so it's my responsibility. And I think that's one of the things he laid out there, is that your choices are your choices. And I've made bad choices. Everybody, I think, has made bad choices. Just how do we take responsibility and begin making good choices?